What's up guys, it's Andrew from Crafted Coast Tour Company here. I am a craft beer tour guide on the Gold Coast in Australia, and I also do these fun craft beer reviews and some other beer related content on this channel. Home brewing, best things to do on the Gold Coast, that kind of stuff. And today I'm bringing you a really cool review. I'm going to be doing the Enter Night Pilsner, Metallica in collaboration with Stone Brewing from Escondido, California. I have had this beer before and it is a fantastic beer. And I thought it would, I'm a metalhead and I love craft beer, and it's just a perfect amalgamation for me, and for many other people out there as well. I know this beer is doing super well. So let's get stuck into the review straight from the outset. I'm not going to read the details on the can for you because it is quite lengthy, so you guys can jump on the Stone website or their Untapped or go pick up a can or 4-pack and have a read yourself. But we'll have a look here. It is definitely in collaboration with the band, with Metallica. Spin the can around, give you guys a really good look at the design here. It's got the classic Metallica type font with the normally the M and the A with the spiky little things on it. It's got the stereo speakers with the Metallica M and some other little stylized spikes coming out of it there, and also the iconic gargoyle from Stone Brewing. So both of these brands, I guess, band/brand, have both got a special place in my heart. Metallica are one of my all-time favorite bands. Like most metal fans, maybe not in the last 20 years or so, but those first 4 or 5 albums are just untouchable. And for them to collaborate with one of my favorite American craft beer brewing companies is just a match made in heaven for me. So first of all, I haven't actually tried too many of these kind of collaboration beers between metal bands or bands in general and breweries. A lot of them are hard to get here in Australia. We have had Stone and Wood Brewing did a collaboration with Violent Soho a few years ago, and I had that beer. That was fantastic. But I have heard mixed reports. Sometimes I think a lot of the bands don't have too much to do with the beer itself. It's more like their marketing teams and from the record label putting something together with, like, for example, Metallica have done one in the past with Budweiser, but this time they had more of a hands-on approach with the making of the beer, and so this beer feels a lot less gimmicky to me. The band, it was a true collaboration between the band and the owners from Stone. So let's have a look, see if we can find the ABV on the can for you. Some of these American cans, you've got to look really hard to find the alcohol percentage on them. Can't find it, but I'm pretty sure it is a 5.7% Pilsner, which is a little bit high for most Pilsners. Pilsners are a form of lager and they generally around about 4.6, 4.8, so something 5.7. It's got that Stone Brewing little hoppy kick to it with a bit extra bitterness. So let's get stuck into the beer. Open the can. It's a 16-ounce can, or 475 mils in metric, which is just shy of a normal 500 ml can that we'd have here in Australia. All right, we're going to pour the beer into the glass for you. Got a lovely color to it. It's actually got, normally a Pilsner, it's got a bit more of an amber kind of, like a darker kind of amber color to it. This is kind of got like almost like a pale ale type color to it, but there is a little touch of clarity. I can see that it's extremely well carbonated. I've got a bit left in the can. I'm just going to put that down. So it is a light gold straw amber color beer. We've got a nice thick off-white foamy head on the beer there. The bubbles are a bit large and a little bit separated, but let's give it a smell. So you find when someone says they just want a beer that tastes like a beer or a beer that smells like beer, they're generally referring to a lager or a Pilsner, because they're the, the most mainstream, readily available beers that we all grew up on. And this does smell like a beer, but it does have a little bit something extra to it as well. You get that kind of bready, cracker biscuit, typical kind of lager profile, but there is that slight hint of something hoppy, something else in there. Some possibly some lemon zest. It's got a great smell. All right, had a smell. Let's have a taste. Cheers, guys. Okay, so I get straight away, I get a little bit of honey on the back of my tongue. It does have that typical cracker lager kind of flavor to it, but there is that slight hoppiness that you would expect from something from Stone. It's not over the top. I mean, then it's not a pale ale. It is a Pilsner, so they're not going to go overboard on the hop. But it is a delicious beer. As I've taken a couple of sips, that initial honey hit has kind of subsided, and you're just getting the usual clean, crisp kind of lager Pilsner flavor. A bit of lacing on the glass there. You can see the head's kind of retaining a bit of volume there as well, which is great. It is an extremely nice beer. Now, over the years, I've kind of moved away from lagers and Pilsners purely because I drank an absolute shit ton of them between the ages of 16 and 30, 32, 33. And I've, over the years, have sort of developed a palate for the more bitter, fruity, punchy kind of beers. Just purely because I drank so much of this kind of stuff when I was younger. I'm sort of sick of it. But this I could drink. This is a sitting down to watch the footy on a Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon kind of beer. You could have, I feel like I could drink 3 or 4 of these, no worries, watching the soccer or the footy, or if I was in America, the baseball or NBA or something. There's even at 5.7%, it's extremely sessionable. I could imagine sitting out in the sun in a beer garden drinking this. It's with a bit of Metallica cranking. Yeah, it's a fantastic beer. I love beers that are a gateway for other people, because especially in Australia, with craft beer being such a new thing, that you do get a lot of pushback from people saying, oh, I just want a beer that tastes like a real beer. They don't want the really bitter, fruity, overly hopped kind of beers. And this is the sort of beer that you could hand someone, and it's very familiar to them, but it would also help you to sort of get their palate shifting a little bit with that little bit of hop character in there. I'm not sure what hops they've used in it, but it does have something very familiar. If you've drunk Stone beer before, it's got something very familiar just lingering on the back of the palate there. Now, as a Metallica fan, you might be thinking Enter Night is a pretty lame name to give to a beer, but I mean, when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. We're drinking a lager, a Pilsner. It's a very accessible form of beer, and Enter Sandman, is Metallica's biggest commercial hit they've ever had, and their most accessible song. So when you think about it, it does make sense to call a beer Enter Night. Everyone knows Enter Sandman. They could have called it something cool. They could have gone like a Harvester of Sorrow double IPA, or what else? The beer that should not be, or they could have gone with a blackened stout or something like that. But I think it makes a lot of sense to call the beer Enter Night after their most famous song, and it makes a lot of sense to me. But if there is a Metallica song that you think would work well for a beer, let me know, because I might just try and make one. Now, these collaboration beers between bands and brewing companies, and even whiskey companies and wine companies and things like that, can be real hit or miss. A lot of the time it's miss. I would love to hear from you guys what your favorite collaboration beer is, or something that you'd love to try. This is the first proper collaboration beer that I've had. I haven't actually managed to try the Trooper. There's a couple of other beers out floating around out there. I'd love to hear if you guys have drunk them. Some of them in particular that I'm really keen to try is the collaboration beers between the Deftones and Belching Beaver Brewing from San Diego. I think they've got one off the top of my head is called the Phantom Bride. I think that might be an IPA. I know they've done 3 or 4 collaboration beers with them, with the band actually getting down to the brewery and helping to make the beers. So if anyone out there would love to send me some of the Deftones Belching Beaver Brewing beers, I would love to get my hands on them. Or if someone can tell me how I can manage to get them sent over here in a cost-effective way, let me know. But yeah, let me know, guys, if there's a collaboration beer out there between an artist and a band that you think I should check out. Let me know. Love to hear about it. All right, well, that's it for today's review, guys. This is a fantastic beer. If I was going to give it a rating, I'd probably give it a solid 4 out of 5. Unfortunately, Papa Het, James Hetfield, probably can't drink this, which is kind of sad. I mean, I know he's struggled with his alcohol abuse over the years, and he has, I think, recently fallen off the rails. But I know when the band made this beer, they all really enjoyed it. This is a beer that I think any Metallica fan should go and get their hands on. It's a fantastic beer, fantastic entry into the craft market for someone who's used to drinking normal beers. So yeah, it's a solid 4 out of 5 for me. So that's it for today's video, guys. It's just a really good beer. Go and get it. I can't really say much else about it. If you haven't tried it, go and get it. If you guys still watching the video, I'd love for you to consider subscribing for some more reviews, some more things to do on the Gold Coast videos, some more home brewing videos. If you want to see anything in particular, let me know. If you're a brewer out there and you've got a beer you'd like me to review, get in touch. Hit me up. All of the links are down below. And for now, guys, I'm going to finish the rest of this beer, crank a bit of Metallica, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's let this video fade to black.